Chapter 2. Tabitha. The ride itself is nice as Jameson and I continue getting to know each other, but when we reach the stadium, my nerves begin to curl inward and bunch. What was I thinking? He's the coach. He'll be focused on the players and calling plays, and I'll be, what, sitting in the bleachers by myself? Standing beside the bench? I should have asked these questions before agreeing to get on a bus with a total stranger. This behavior is so unlike me. I'm usually the type to plan everything, to make sure I know every exit route and every possible turn. But after the brain tumor a few months ago, I've found myself taking more chances, like this one.
All right, boys, grab your gear and head into the locker room. I'll meet you inside shortly.
Jameson shouts over the noise of teenage boys chatting and high-fiving each other. Surprisingly, though, they file off in an orderly fashion. Wow, they're really well behaved. It's been a while since I had a high school student, but I've had many come in the shop. And while most behave themselves, some decide it's the place to show off their obnoxious behavior. Seeing these boys is refreshing. He chuckles as he grabs a few bags of gear.
Well, they know if they don't behave, then they don't get to play. I don't believe in rewarding poor behavior.
Handsome, single, and he has manners? I feel like I've hit the trifecta in a dating lottery. Dating? I have lost my mind. This isn't a date, is it?
Come on, I'll show you to our bench and you can hang out there until I return.
Are you sure it's allowed? My nerves clench tighter, making my voice come out smaller than normal. I mean, I don't have any credentials or anything.
Relax, he says, placing a hand on my arm. It's a high school football game, not a professional game. No one is going to be looking for your ID.
Okay. I say the word, but my eyes are fixed on the place where our skin is touching. Tiny neurons are firing, sending sparks of electricity flying up my arm. How long has it been since a man's touch affected me like this? For that matter, how long has it been since I've felt a man's touch? He clears his throat and removes his hand. And just like that, the heat is gone.
We better get going,
he says, and I follow him off the bus. True to his word, he bypasses the locker room and leads me to the covered bench where he and the players will sit during the game. The stands are already filling with people, but none of them seem to care about us. And why would they? Most of them are probably family or friends keeping their eyes peeled for their loved one. The folly of my decision crashes down on me again. I know no one on this team, and even after conversing with Jameson the whole way over, I barely know him.
Make yourself comfortable,
he says, bringing me back to reality.
I'll be back as soon as I can.
I watch him walk away, and then take a deep breath and sit down on the bench. I can do this, I tell myself. It will be fun. Jameson. The boys are already suited up and ready when I enter the locker room, and I take a deep breath to clear Tabitha's face from my mind. I still am not sure why I invited her to come along. Maybe Al's ultrasound appointment made me nostalgic or something. But now I feel like I'm on a roller coaster. Every time I think about her, my heart speeds up and adrenaline courses through me. But then I remember that this is not a date. I remember that I'm at work and that I need to keep my head in the game. And the adrenaline fades only to be replaced with confusion. I never even asked my ex-wife to come to games with me. Of course, some of that had to do with the fact that she hated football. But still, why would I invite this woman I don't even know? I must be lonelier than I thought I was. There's no time to think about that now, though. I need to get these boys pumped up and ready to win. Okay, now we know the Titans are a good team, but we can beat them.
We're going to focus on runs to the outside as much as we can and pass when we have to.
Though my receivers are decent at catching, my quarterback is not the strongest at throwing. He has a good arm, but his aim isn't always the best. He throws almost as many interceptions as he does receptions. So I try to keep his passing to a minimum. Even then, I cross my fingers and hope for the best every time he launches the ball.
Same starting lineup as usual. Let's play as if it's our last game. Pirates on 3.
The boys place their hands on mine, and on the count of 3, all of them yell Pirates as loud as they can. Now the real challenge for me begins, keeping my head in the game while trying not to be distracted by Tabitha. She still sits on the bench where I left her when I approach. As if she knows I have to keep my focus, she merely smiles and waves. This woman really is amazing. We win the coin toss and start out with the ball. Every once in a while, I can hear Tabitha clapping or calling out behind me, and I smile.
She should come more often, Coach.
I turn to look at Cooper, my running back. He is nodding at Tabitha behind me.
You think so? Yeah, I mean, we're winning for one thing, so I think she's good luck. Plus, you seem happier.
I do? I hadn't thought I was unhappy, but if my players are picking up on something, perhaps I need to look again. Cooper shrugs.
Not that you seem sad or angry or anything usually. You just seem happier tonight. Thanks, Cooper. If we win, maybe I'll ask her if she'll keep coming.
You go, Coach, he says as he raises his hand to fist bump me. I chuckle but return the gesture before turning back to the action on the field.
Hey, Jameson, sorry I'm late.
Al, my assistant coach, says, appearing at my side.
Who's the woman? A baker we met on the way who might just be a good luck charm.
His face wrinkles in confusion, but he says nothing more as he dons his gear and takes his place beside me. As the game continues and the team pulls farther ahead, I begin to wonder if perhaps Tabitha is a good luck charm, both for the team and for me.